Welcome to Fun Facts Online. In quiet, climate-controlled archives and sprawling digital databases lie millions of documents that were once the most closely guarded secrets of the state. These are the raw, unfiltered witnesses to history's most pivotal moments, and they have the power to completely rewrite what we thought we knew about our own past. More than just paperwork, these unsealed files offer a glimpse into the inner workings of power, the secret operations that shaped our world, and the long-buried truths that were never meant to see the light of day. Today, we're unsealing history and looking at the power of declassified government records. The journey of a document from a top-secret vault to a public archive isn't random. In the United States, it's largely driven by two key mechanisms. The first is the one you've probably heard of, the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA. Enacted in 1966, FOIA gives any person the right to request records from a federal agency. It's a powerful tool for journalists and historians, designed to make government transparent and hold officials accountable. But while FOIA is crucial, it only accounts for a fraction of disclosures. The real flood of information comes from automatic, systematic review. Thanks to Executive Order 13,526, issued in 2009, most classified records of permanent historical value are required to be automatically declassified after 25 years. This process is managed by the National Archives and Records Administration, or NARA, and its National Declassification Center. They work with agencies like the CIA and FBI to review these aging secrets and decide what can finally be released. It's a constant tug-of-war between the public's right to know and the government's need to protect sensitive information. But when that balance tips toward openness, the revelations can be stunning. The true power of declassification lies in its capacity to transform our understanding of history. And no period has been more fertile ground for shocking discoveries than the Cold War. What was often painted as a simple struggle between two superpowers has been revealed as a complex, global chessboard of clandestine warfare, conspiracies, and mind-bending plots. Let's start in 1953, in Iran. For decades, the overthrow of Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister, Mohammad Mosaddegh, was a subject of intense suspicion. The CIA's involvement was rumored but officially denied by the US government. Then, the documents came out. Declassified internal agency histories finally confirmed that the CIA, in concert with British intelligence, orchestrated the entire coup, codenamed Operation Ajax. The files detailed exactly how they instigated a political crisis, paid off protesters, and spread propaganda to remove Mossadegh from power and consolidate the rule of the Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. This single revelation fundamentally reshaped the modern history of Iran. It provided the crucial context for the deep-seated anti-American sentiment that would eventually fuel the 1979 Islamic Revolution and has defined US-Iran relations ever since. The history we were told was a lie, and the declassified truth explained decades of hostility. While the CIA was busy toppling governments abroad, it was also conducting one of the most disturbing programs in its history, right at home, Project MKUltra. Running from the 1950s until it was officially halted in 1973, this was the CIA's top-secret mind control program. The goal was to develop techniques for interrogation and psychological torture. Declassified documents, uncovered through Senate investigations and FOIA requests, revealed the horrific details. The project involved experiments on human subjects, many of whom were unwitting American and Canadian citizens. These people were subjected to hypnosis, sensory deprivation, verbal and sexual abuse, and the administration of powerful drugs like LSD, often without their knowledge or consent. The exposure of MKUltra stands as one of the most stark examples of the profound abuse of power that can fester under the cloak of national security. It's a chilling reminder of what happens when accountability disappears. The obsession with covert action during the Cold War also had a bizarre, almost cartoonish side. Following the failed Bay of Pigs invasion of Cuba, the Kennedy administration authorized Operation Mongoose, a massive, secret operation to destabilize and overthrow Fidel Castro's regime. Declassified records revealed a wild array of plots. There were propaganda efforts, of course, but there were also some truly bizarre assassination schemes. The CIA considered everything from an exploding cigar to a wetsuit dusted with a flesh-eating fungus to a seashell rigged to explode on a beach where Castro liked to dive. While these specific plots never came to fruition, the documents illustrated the Kennedy administration's intense obsession with removing Castro and the extreme, almost desperate lengths the CIA was prepared to go to. Another conflict profoundly reinterpreted through declassified records is the Vietnam War. These documents exposed a massive chasm between the government's public optimism and the grim reality understood by insiders. The key event that officially plunged America deep into the war was the Gulf of Tonkin incident in 1964. The official story was that North Vietnamese patrol boats launched an unprovoked attack on a U.S. destroyer, the USS Maddox, on August 2nd, followed by a second attack on August 4th. This was presented as clear-cut aggression, and President Lyndon B. Johnson used it to secure the Gulf of Tonkin resolution from Congress, granting him broad authority to escalate military action. For years, that was the story. But declassified signals, intelligence, and internal histories from the National Security Agency have since revealed a different truth. The second alleged attack on August 4th, the one that truly triggered the massive escalation, almost certainly never happened. The American sailors were likely misinterpreting radar and sonar signals in chaotic weather. In other words, the primary justification for a war that would last a decade and cost over 58,000 American lives was based on flawed, if not deliberately misrepresented, intelligence. This revelation didn't just add a detail to history, it undermined the very casus belli for the war. This pattern of deception was confirmed by the Pentagon Papers, a top-secret history of the war leaked by Daniel Ellsberg in 1971. Although it was a leak, not a formal declassification at the time, the documents, which were fully declassified in 2011, showed that successive U.S. administrations had systematically lied to the public about the war's scope and its bleak prospects for success. Declassified records have also been crucial in uncovering the extent of government surveillance and interference in domestic political movements. This wasn't just about foreign enemies. It was about targeting American citizens. One of the most shocking examples is the FBI's counterintelligence program, better known as COINTELPRO. Active from the 1950s to the 1970s, COINTELPRO was a series of secret and illegal projects aimed at surveilling, infiltrating, discrediting, and disrupting domestic political organizations. Declassified files have exposed the program's vast reach. The FBI targeted a huge array of groups, from civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. to anti-Vietnam War protesters, feminist organizations, and black nationalist groups. Their tactics were straight out of a spy novel: psychological warfare, planting false and damaging stories in the media, forging letters to create infighting between group leaders, and using informants to provoke illegal activity that could then be prosecuted. The files on Martin Luther King Jr. are particularly disturbing, revealing the FBI's efforts to discredit him, including sending anonymous letters threatening to expose his extramarital affairs. COINTELPRO showed a government agency actively working to undermine social and political movements it deemed subversive, a profound violation of democratic principles. Now let's turn to perhaps the most captivating topic when it comes to government secrets: unidentified flying objects, or, as they're now officially termed, unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs. For decades, the U.S. government publicly dismissed the subject as nonsense, but a steady stream of declassified documents and videos has completely changed the conversation. The story often begins with the Air Force's Project Blue Book, which investigated over 12,000 UFO sightings from 1947 to 1969. When the project ended, its records were declassified and sent to the National Archives. While the official conclusion was that there was no evidence of extraterrestrial vehicles, the files themselves tell a fascinating story. Of the 618 sightings, 701 remain.